What's up, guys? Welcome back to Maestro Vapes, all right? Today we are looking at something a little bit different for me. We are looking at a stainless steel mod. This is the simple clone from Wotofo A-Mod. Wotofo. Every time I see Wotofo or I say Wotofo, I think of my friend's dad when I was a kid, and he took us to Niagara Falls, and he was like, "Look at the pretty Wotofo." And it's like, and I was like, pretty wonderful or pretty waterfall. And it's like, I always think of him. So what's up? Wotofo. Anyway, so this is the A-Mod simple clone, and it's a tiny little creature. I've got my Dark Horse on here right now, and I can pretty much fist this whole thing and just get rid of it, all right? It is a tiny little package, and for a stainless steel tube, it hits like a mother. So let's go in, we'll take a look at it, come back out, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it at the end of it, all right? Let's check it out. All right, so here it is up close in the box. This is what you get. It comes in this A-Mod box, and it says simple on it, and it's a pretty simple small box. Stainless steel on there. And it's got one of these scratch and checks on the bottom if you want to check out the authenticity of your clone, I guess. Now, the box comes a part, slider open, and all that's in here is this mod, okay? I'm going to slide this out of here. And that's it. There's nothing else in this guy, okay? So the box can move aside, and this is what you get. A really simple stainless steel tube, hence the name, okay? The bottom of it, it doesn't have the full-on cloned logo on the bottom of it. Typically, it'll say, you know, Epic Designs on the bottom of it, simple, whatever. But A-Mod has just branded it with their own, and it says simple on there, so no one really gets ripped off by thinking it's, you know, an authentic, right? It's got this little slot in here if you want to open it up. It's got ventilation holes for your battery to vent out of the bottom, and that's pretty much it. You know, the top of it is a hybrid connector, so you just screw your Addy onto there, okay? Now, if you're taking this apart, you can just thread it out. Sometimes if it's tight with a battery, I'll just put my fingernail in there and tune it out. And that's it. Just looking into that tube, not sure if you can see that, but inside that tube, it's just this beveled edge in there, which is super cool because that's going to allow your battery not to short if there's no atomizer on there. So if you just have a battery on there and you press the button, it's not going to fire off against something and cause a hard short, which is super, super cool about this mod. Very, very cool. That's really it. The machining is decent in this. It's one of the nicer clones that I've actually used. It's pretty sharp and it's affordable. Now, the switch on this guy just has this little brass, maybe it's brass plated contact on it that just hovers in there. And it's pretty neat, man. Pretty neat. There's the ventilation holes in it, so it vents if your battery requires it. It's got this little snap ring in here to take it all to bits, okay? So I'm going to show you how this works. Got an old set of tweezers here to take this thing apart. I'm just going to press it in. I'm going to put the tweezers in the holes, then just spread it out. It should come apart pretty easily. Snap ring comes off. Set that down right there. Then this whole guy just slides apart, just like that. Now there's a spring inside of there, and that's it, just 3 pieces. Spring comes out. It's a nice, meaty, thick spring. It's about the equivalent of, I don't know, 20 gauge wire, I would say. Take that out. And the cool thing about it is the firing button is just one single piece. Okay, one single piece, and it has these little grooves in it. So these grooves sit into this base right here and don't allow it to move around, which is super cool. You have no moving of your switch. Goes back together, same way it came apart. Just line up those little grooves so they fit and it will not slide around. Now the hard part of this is kind of putting this snap ring back into place, but it's not that bad. All right. And there it is. Putting it together. Let's grab a battery for this guy. So, I'm going to take a Samsung 25R, freshly charged. And I'm just going to tune it in a bit. All right. Now your atomizer is going to make directly with the top of your battery here. All right. What are we going to use? Because this is so small, I kind of want to show off how small it is. So here's an Atlantis. Or, yeah, it's the Atlantis. I wanted to call it the Nautilus. And it just becomes a small little package. Like, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Then you just tune in that button until it's snug. And that's it. Fire, fire. And it's working. And it's pretty... It hits so well. Like, I was kind of shocked by it. What else is big? Something else that's big we'll put on here. I'll show you real quick. Here's a Squape Reloaded clone. This is also an A-mod clone. But put this thing on here. And the Squape is huge, right? Like, it is huge. But on this mod, let's dial in that button. It's not that bad. You know, like, really, it's not that bad at all. But we're not going to be vaping this. What are we going to be vaping on here? Let's take... Oh, man. I want to put the billow on here, but my billow's gone dry. All right. Got some juice on there. Don't want that. This is a good one. Here's the Dark Horse, which is like my favorite Addy right now. You dial that on. Oops. A little snug on this end. Get that tuned in. Dial in that button. And isn't that just a nice little creature right there? Like, how slick is that? It's a perfect little package. Let's take it out and have a vape off of it. This is where I got it from if you want to check it out. Vape Dominion was cool enough to send me this. And here's their contact information if you want to get in touch with them. Very cool guys over there. All right, let's have a vape. But man, this thing works well. The conductivity in it is excellent, and I was pretty surprised by it because it is a stainless mod. Like, the hybrid connection and all, I didn't think was going to make that much of a difference on this mod, but really, it seems to. You know, and if you've looked at that switch, it doesn't look like super awesome, but it works. Like, it works really, really well. Now, what I've been doing with this thing a lot is running it with either a Squape tank or running it with my Atlantis or running it with my Billow lately, because it just... Taking tanks like that are a lot longer, that kind of look goofy on other mods, just kind of looks more streamlined and stealthy on this particular mod. I've also run this with the Hobo, which is like the tiniest little atomizer, and it's just totally, you can conceal it. Like, it's pretty dope. It is very cool. The beveled edge in there for your battery to sit against is excellent. I really dig that. The only time you're going to have a problem with a short on that is if you have a rip in the wrapper of your battery. And if you have a rip in the battery wrapper, it might be time to get some new ones, or at least rewrap your batteries. Typically, when my batteries get torn up like that, I know that their lifespan is coming to an end, and I just swap them out and get some new ones. You know, recycle those old ones. But, yeah. Anyway, this isn't really a battery video, is it? The firing button with those little ripples that sit into one another so the firing button doesn't twist around is really, really cool as well. Now, being that it's a stainless mod, it's not super awesome for low resistance builds, okay? Because it will warm up a lot easier. The conductivity is not as good. Just kind of, that current gets trapped in it and warms up a little bit. But I have found for a stainless mod, this one holds up the best out of anything that I've used, all right? So there's that, okay? I got this from the stellar peeps at Vape Dominion, which should be coming up right here, right now. And I got to shout them out because they sent me this, and I was pretty stoked because they're pretty cool guys. They're pretty cool guys. Check them out. Their customer service is excellent over there. All right? So that's pretty much it for this video, seeing that it's such a simple mod. Anyways, guys, that's all I got until next time, all right? It was cool chilling out with you. Like I always say, guys, butt out, vape up, and breathe easy. Know your limits and vape within it. And you, my friend, will have a stellar day. I'll catch you on the next one, my friends.